Hi, this is Carrie Mubarak at Wooing Nature, and this is the Art of the Deck. Wooing Nature's flip through and review with the art and the artist in mind. Now, the reason why we do this flip through, you can look at any flip through on YouTube and see what these cards look like. But the artist for me as a reader is a very important and integral part of any deck. Yes, there is the information that comes out of the booklet, but then there is the part that really draws you in intuitively. And for me, I am a visual reader and an intuitive reader. And so when the images are really what helps me see and understand the message that's coming through from spirit. So I always like to give a shout out to the artist of any deck because a lot of times they don't mention them, or there may be a little blip in the back of the book about it. But I always want to give a shout out to the artists because I think that they're the ones that really can draw us into our intuitive space. Art itself is an intuitive practice for a lot of people, and so it is for me as well, and it is also for me as a reader. So, without further ado, I am going to introduce you to Primordial Tarot by the artist Sergio Toppi. And this deck I found, and I don't know, just searching around for decks and saw the images and fell in love with them. Um, and as I did my research, what I realized is that Sergio Toppi is very well known in certain circles, particularly those among illustrators of comics. And so he is a self-taught artist. He was born in Milan, Italy, and became very well known for his art in the comic world. So if you are a comic book enthusiast, you probably are familiar with Sergio Toppi. I was not. But after looking at this deck and then after looking at some of the images in the illustrations, and those are pen and ink illustrations that he does, I was amazed by the culture, very indigenous, very primal, which is why I think that it's primordial tarot. This deck was originally the tarot of the origin, so it was produced some time ago, and then it went out of print, and then it came back into print, but it came back in this format. So the image itself, the framework around the image is different and that kind of thing, but the drawings themselves are pretty much the same as the tarot of the origins. Now, the original deck, like I said, is out of print. It is available though for about $500. So it is on my list to get the original deck because, like I said, I really do appreciate this artist. But in the meantime, they have made it affordable for us to look at and enjoy through the Primordial Tarot, and you can get those at Amazon or what have you. So I'm going to share these with you, and you'll see what I'm talking about. These drawings are just amazing. I know I always say that, but the power, the thought, like I said, the culture, it's almost like looking in anthropological encyclopedia, just moving through these. In the book, they talk about the importance of shamanism. So they said that there are shamans and images of shamans throughout this deck. There is the 22 major arcana for this deck, and it's set up just like a tarot, but the suits are different. They're called different things, and then also the way that the court cards are numbered is different. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes, and I'll share the court cards with you. But this is death. What I felt when I looked through these for the first time is that these are just cards where the images need to be read, where you really just need to allow yourself as a reader to just delve into it and let it speak to you. It just felt like that kind of thing. Um, it seems to me, and I'm not, trying to tell you how to read your cards, you read them how you want to, but to me it seems almost a waste to get wrapped up in the traditional meanings of these cards because they're so non-traditional in that sense of the word. Very indigenous. We see the earthiness of it, images of rocks and people, animals and people. I love this one. I actually think that this is the right side up to this card. People of color, that helps for some of us. I love the lines in their faces and then the lines that you see throughout. And this is the last one. This is the world. All right, so as I was saying to you, the suits are a little different, so they're not swords, pentacles, etc., etc. They're set up a little differently. So the blue cards are considered to be the soul cards, and I think that they are associated with the cup. So there is an association. You can make the association, but like I said, the drawings are so intense to me. Just read the image. Let the image speak to you because clearly they are. Look at this guy. If he's not speaking, I don't know. Just some very powerful images here. So this is the suit of the soul. And in just a few seconds, this is the 9th in the suit of soul, and then the 10th in the suit of the soul. But this is what I was talking about with the court cards. Instead of having page, knight, queen, and king, they have the page, or they have the child, and then they have the animal, and then they have the woman and the man. And again, they're numbered. If you can see these here, they just keep going in the suit. So once you get to the 10 of the soul, then you go to the 11, which is the page, and then the 12, which is the animal, and then 13, which is the woman, and then 14, which is the king, representing the king. And so it's the same in each suit. This is the suit of jewels, and this is related to the pentacles. So for those of you who like pen and ink, you will love Sergio Toppi. And you should really see some of his other work. You should see the cartoons, and you should also see the black and whites that he's done, because the black and whites are just the pen and ink without the color. They are amazing. They are just amazing. You'll see much more detail in it. She's powerful. I like her. There we go. And then this is the suit of nature. This is the suit of nature. This one, it took me a minute to see all of this one. But when I did, I was like, wow. And in the booklet, it will share with you the intention of the suits being, jewels and nature and soul. And then the last one that we'll look at is blood. It'll explain to you, what the intention was there. And it also gives some very different meanings for this card. Now, this is where we're going into the court. So this is the page of nature. This is the animal of nature. This is the woman of nature. And then this is the man of nature. And then the last suit is the suit of blood. So, like I said, they have some very, some of the meanings are going to be similar, especially with the major arcana. But when you get into the minor arcana, then the meanings are very different. And that's why I was saying it's better to just read the card straight or really familiarize yourself with the intention of the images from the text, because they just, they don't read like a regular tarot. They just don't, even though it does have the 78. Wonderful. So I really like these. I wish that I had the original deck to share with you the differences between them. I think there may be the color might pop a little bit more in these, of course, we have better ways to saturate color and things than they did some years ago. So it might be a little more HD. And that is the last one of the deck. So check out Sergio Toppi. I'm going to put some information about him in the description box. So if you want to follow his links or follow his information or follow him, period, so that you can find out where there are prints or there's other paintings to be sold or auctioned. I've seen his work on auction. And there's also some collections of his paintings and books at Amazon too. So it's like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and then there's a whole lot of other books that you can look at too with him and with his work in there. It's really, really wonderful, and I thoroughly enjoyed this deck, and I cannot wait to really mess around with it. But anyway, Sergio Toppi, hats off to you. This is a great deck. This is a beautiful deck, and we really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. All right. So if you want to know more about decks, then you can check me out here at this channel. As always, I hope you enjoyed the deck, and I hope you're having a fabulous life.